The stars had seen many wars. Empires rose and fell. Weapons were built and broken, and technology always decided who ruled and who became dust. When humanity came forward with their newest weapon, the galaxy expected something terrifying, something impossible. But what they saw made them laugh. Railguns, a simple idea. A weapon that used magnets to throw metal at high speed. To the great alien powers, it looked weak. They had plasma beams that could melt through asteroids, antimatter bombs, that could burn whole planets, and energy shields that no primitive slug of metal should ever pass through. To them, humanity's invention was nothing more than a toy. Across the Galactic Council, alien leaders mocked the humans. So this is Earth's secret? A cannon that spits iron? The chambers filled with laughter. Some called humans stone, throwers of the stars. Others joked that Earth must have run out of real ideas. But humanity stayed silent. They did not argue. They did not defend themselves. They only tested their railguns again and again, firing projectiles faster than any missile-piercing test targets at ranges the aliens thought impossible. Each test looked like nothing special, yet each result made human scientists smile quietly. The aliens saw this smile, and it confused them. Why were the humans so calm while being ridiculed? Why were they investing so much into a weapon everyone thought was useless? Behind closed doors, whispers began. Reports leaked that human ships were being built in secret yards, each one armed with railguns large enough to fire projectiles the size of buildings. Scouts sent to spy on Earth vanished without a trace. But still, the galaxy laughed. Then came the first battle. An arrogant alien fleet known for conquering weak civilizations decided to make an example of Earth. They believed it would be easy. Their plasma cannons were superior, their shields invincible, their pride unshakable. The fleets met near a quiet star system. The aliens expected surrender within minutes. Instead, they witnessed something strange. Human ships opened fire with railguns. The soundless storm of metal slugs crossed the void at near light speed. Alien shields lit up, struggling. The first few shots bounced, and the aliens laughed again. See? Stones cannot hurt steel. But then the shield generators overheated. Sparks burst across their control decks. The projectiles did not stop. They came one after another, faster than the aliens could recharge. Metal slugs tore through ship armor like knives through paper. Laughter turned to panic. Entire ships cracked apart. Plasma cannons exploded before they could even charge. Commanders shouted in disbelief, trying to understand how primitive weapons were breaking advanced defenses. The railguns kept firing, and with each hit, the galaxy's laughter faded into silence. News spread fast. The council heard of the battle. Some still laughed, saying the alien fleet was weak, careless, unlucky. Others began to worry. If railguns could destroy ships once thought indestructible, what else could they do? But while the galaxy debated, humanity worked quietly in the shadows. Railguns were only the beginning. In secret laboratories, deep under Earth's surface and on hidden stations orbiting distant moons, experiments pushed beyond imagination. Scientists whispered about bending space, moving matter from one point to another without traveling the distance in between. Teleportation. At first, it sounded like madness. Even the most powerful alien empires had failed to achieve it. To them, it was impossible, something for myths, not science. Yet the humans worked patiently, step by step. Small objects vanished from one chamber and appeared in another. Then larger objects, then entire vehicles. Failures happened. Explosions shook labs, but progress never stopped. And each success was hidden carefully, away from alien eyes. Still, a rumor escaped. A transmission intercepted by chance. A voice whispered through static. The teleportation array is stable, test successful. The galaxy ignored it. To them, it was another joke. First they throw rocks, now they pretend to move them with magic. The council laughed again, mocking Earth's fantasies. But a few alien strategists grew uneasy. They remembered the laughter when railguns were first shown, and how, quickly, that laughter turned into fear. What if teleporters were real? What if railguns were only step one? The tension grew. Alien fleets patrolled near Earth's borders, watching closely. Human ships moved silently, keeping distance but never backing away. Both sides prepared for the next conflict, but only humanity knew the truth. Because deep inside their hidden facilities, far away from alien spies, humanity's greatest weapon was no longer the railgun. It was the silence of what was coming next, and, when the galaxy finally saw it, their laughter would die forever. The galaxy's laughter still echoed when the first challenge arrived. A proud alien empire known for arrogance sent its fleet toward Earth. To them, this was not war, it was entertainment. They called it the Hunt of Stone Throwers. Their ships were sleek, glowing with energy shields that had never been broken. Their commanders believed no metal slug could touch them. To prove their superiority, they even broadcast the invasion live across the council channels. Millions of alien citizens tuned in, ready to laugh again at humanity's railgun joke. But the humans did not speak. They only prepared. When the alien fleet entered a quiet system near Earth, they expected to see human ships retreating, in fear. Instead, they found a formation of gray, silent warships waiting. No banners, no speeches, only guns ready. The alien commander smiled. "End this quickly," he ordered, and the first clash began. Human railguns fired. The void lit up with trails of fire as slugs of dense metal cut across space faster than thought. The aliens laughed again when their shields flared and absorbed the first hits. See, rocks cannot hurt the stars. But then the shields began to crack. One shot slipped through, then another. A third railgun round struck with such force that it pierced armor clean through, igniting reactors inside. An alien cruiser erupted in flames before it even had time to charge its plasma cannons. The laughter stopped. More slugs rained down, each impact shaking the alien fleet. Ships designed to resist plasma and antimatter were never built to face continuous hypervelocity strikes. Shields overheated, generators fried, and armor plates tore away like paper. Panic filled the alien bridge. How are they firing so fast? Shields at critical. Redirect power. No, we're losing containment. Another ship shattered, then another. The human fleet advanced slowly, firing with mechanical rhythm. No shouting, no drama, only precision. Each volley was like a hammer falling on the galaxy's pride. The alien commander could not believe it. These are stones, these are toys, how can they? But his words ended when a slug tore through his own flagship, cutting it in half. Across the galaxy, citizens who were watching the broadcast sat in stunned silence. The stone throwers had destroyed a fleet once thought invincible. The joke was no longer funny, but humanity was not finished. As the last alien ships tried to retreat, something stranger happened. A section of space shimmered near them. For a moment, sensors showed nothing unusual, only static. Then suddenly, human strike teams appeared inside the fleeing ships. No boarding craft, no alarms. They simply arrived. Gunfire and chaos followed. Alien captains screamed reports. Intruders on deck. How did they get past shields? How? But before answers came, their ships exploded from the inside. Teleportation. The secret was no longer rumor. Humanity had just revealed its second weapon. The survivors barely escaped. Their retreating ships carried a message that shook the galaxy. The humans. They can move through space without traveling. They appear where they should not exist. They fight inside our ships. They are impossible. In the council chambers, the mood turned dark. No laughter this time. No jokes. Only whispers of fear. One alien elder trembled as he spoke. First, they showed us railguns. We mocked them. Then railguns destroyed our fleets. Now they show teleporters. What comes after this? But even as panic spread, humanity stayed silent again. No declarations, no threats. Their fleets disappeared into the void, leaving wreckage behind. The galaxy realized something terrifying. Humanity had not revealed everything. Railguns were only the beginning. Teleporters were only the second step, and no one knew what the third step would be. The galaxy could not ignore it anymore. Railguns had broken their pride, and teleporters had shattered their sense of safety. In every council chamber, alien leaders argued, shouted, and trembled. "It is impossible," some cried. "No species can move like that. It breaks every law of physics." "Then explain how our ships were destroyed from the inside," others whispered. "Explain how soldiers appeared behind sealed blast doors." For the first time in centuries, the galaxy admitted one truth. Humanity was no longer weak, but humans did not celebrate. They did not speak. They only prepared in silence. When the next conflict came, it was not by human choice. Another empire, larger, older, and crueler, believed they could still break Earth. They assembled an armada of hundreds of warships. Entire planets watched as the fleet marched toward human space. Inside their command halls, alien admirals laughed at the idea of railguns. They believed teleporters must be a trick, a one-time miracle. They were wrong. The battle began with a storm. Human warships appeared across the battlefield, firing railguns in perfect rhythm. Each shot was faster, sharper, deadlier than before. Alien shields flared and collapsed. Ships that once ruled the stars turned into burning wrecks. But then came the real terror. Human ships stopped firing for a moment. The aliens thought they were retreating. But suddenly explosions erupted inside their own fleet. Entire squads of human soldiers materialized in the heart of alien flagships, cutting through crews like shadows. Teleporters worked not only for weapons, but for armies. No border was safe. No fortress was strong enough. No ship could lock its doors. Humanity could strike anywhere, at any time, without warning. Alien commanders screamed into their channels. "They are inside our engine rooms. How? Shields are still active. Impossible. Impossible." But it was not impossible. It was humanity's terrifying advantage. The galaxy began to realize the truth. Railguns alone were powerful, but railguns combined with teleportation made humanity unstoppable. Imagine a railgun slug moving at incredible speed. Now imagine teleporting it directly inside an enemy's shielded command bridge. Imagine a battalion of human soldiers appearing behind enemy lines before the battle even began. And humans did not use this advantage recklessly. They used it with precision. Every strike was clean, calculated, designed to humiliate as much as to destroy. Fear spread across the stars like wildfire. In markets and cities, alien civilians whispered about Earth. Parents told children stories of humans who could walk through walls and vanish into thin air. Soldiers refused to fight in battles where humans might appear. Leaders begged their scientists to find countermeasures, but there were none. Because teleportation was not just a weapon. It was the end of distance itself. Yet the most frightening thing was not the weapon. It was the silence. The galaxy expected humans to declare themselves rulers, to demand tribute, to spread threats across the stars. But humanity said nothing. They only prepared, improved, and waited. That silence weighed heavier than any weapon. Because it meant humanity was not done yet, in secret council meetings, alien rulers debated desperately. If they can teleport soldiers, what stops them from teleporting bombs into our capitals? What if they can move entire fleets instantly? What if they appear above our homeworlds tomorrow? Every question ended in silence because none of them had an answer. One alien emperor, older than most civilizations, spoke words that chilled the chambers. The humans are not showing us their strength. They are showing us a warning. The railgun was the first lesson. Teleporters are the second. What will the third lesson be? And with that, the galaxy trembled, because deep inside, they all knew one thing. Humanity's terrifying advantage was not just their weapons. It was the fact that they had only just begun. The galaxy thought it had already seen humanity's worst. Railguns had destroyed fleets, and teleporters had broken every defense. But the truth was far darker. Humanity had only been practicing. Whispers spread across council worlds. Some said humans could move objects larger than ships. Others claimed entire armies had vanished and reappeared on alien moons. The rumors sounded like madness, but every rumor carried the same chill. Humanity was preparing something much bigger. Then the demonstration came. A great alien empire, furious and desperate, tried to force Earth into submission. They gathered the largest fleet the galaxy had, seen in a century, thousands of warships, each bristling with weapons, each shielded with the latest technology. Their goal was simple: surround Earth, crush its defenses, and end the fear once and for all. The galaxy watched. Billions tuned in, expecting either human defeat or another strange miracle. What they saw instead was something no mind was ready for. The fleet arrived, weapons locked, plasma cannons charged. But before a single shot was fired, something impossible happened. One of the alien dreadnoughts simply disappeared. No explosion. No warning. It blinked out of existence. Gasps filled every alien command deck. The missing dreadnought was their pride, 3 kilometers long, armed with weapons that could incinerate continents. And now, it was gone. Before panic spread further, sensors screamed. The same dreadnought reappeared, but not where it had been. It stood in orbit above the alien empire's own capital world. Shock became terror. The ship's guns turned, not against humans, but against its own kind. Railgun slugs ripped through the Empire's defenses, tearing apart ships, stations, and orbital fortresses. Citizens screamed as their skies turned to fire. And then, just as suddenly, the dreadnought vanished again. The alien fleet near Earth broke into chaos. Some tried to retreat, others demanded explanations, but none came. Humanity had shown the galaxy their newest power, teleporting entire warships. There was no defense, no warning, no escape. The galaxy's pride crumbled in that moment. Empires that once mocked humanity now feared to speak. Leaders whispered that if Earth could teleport fleets, then no world was safe. Every star, every capital, every throne could fall in a single instant. But humanity did not use this power to destroy. They did not burn planets. They did not conquer. They only gave a message through silence, because silence meant choice. Humanity could destroy, but they chose not to. And that made the fear even worse. Inside the alien council chambers, the rulers of the galaxy argued like frightened children. "We must unite against Earth," one shouted. "Unite with what?" "They can move our fleets like toys," another whispered. "Perhaps they will show mercy," an elder said, trembling. "Perhaps if we surrender." But the room fell quiet when a human transmission arrived. No threats, no demands, only a single sentence. This was only a fraction of our true power. The galaxy realized the truth. Humanity had not shown their final card. The railgun was the first step. The teleporter was the second. The third was still hidden. And if the second step could move dreadnoughts across the stars, what would the third be? Fear became the new law of the galaxy. Empires that once laughed at railguns now begged for peace. Armies that once mocked Earth refused to face them. The name of humanity was spoken with the same dread once reserved for extinction events, because the turning point had come. Humanity was no longer the weak species struggling to survive. They were the storm, silent and patient, holding a power too great for anyone to resist. And as the stars watched, one truth became clear. The galaxy that laughed at humanity was now on its knees. The galaxy was silent. Worlds that once mocked humanity now whispered their name like a curse. Empires that once called them primitive now ordered their fleets to avoid human space at all costs. No one laughed at railguns anymore. No one doubted teleporters. But the fear did not come only from the weapons. It came from the unknown. Humanity had revealed 2 steps, railguns and teleporters. But what about the third? What was waiting in their hidden laboratories? No one knew. And that mystery was more terrifying than any battle. On alien homeworlds, leaders gathered in secret. They spoke in hushed voices, too afraid to say the word Earth aloud. Some wanted to beg for peace. Others wanted to form an alliance. A few in their pride still dreamed of revenge, but every argument ended the same way: silence. Because they all knew, if humanity chose to strike, no throne, no empire, no planet would survive. Yet humanity did not conquer. They did not demand tribute. They did not enslave. They simply watched. Their fleets patrolled quietly. Their teleporters hummed in hidden stations. They allowed the galaxy to live, but always under the shadow of fear. And in some ways, that was worse than open war. Because when an empire rules by force, you can fight back. But when an empire rules by silence, by possibility, by the terror of what might happen, there is no fighting back. There is only waiting. In the markets of distant stars, civilians whispered stories. They say humans can teleport whole planets. No, I heard they can move suns. My cousin saw a human ship appear inside a moon and then leave without damage. None of these stories were true, but none could be proven false either. And so, rumor by rumor, fear grew into legend. Humanity became a myth not of weakness, but of unstoppable power. The council finally broke. After centuries of ruling the galaxy with arrogance, the mighty leaders bowed their heads to Earth. They sent envoys, not armies. They brought gifts, not threats. They swore peace, not war, and the humans accepted. They gave no speeches. They made no promises. They simply nodded, and the galaxy breathed in relief. But deep inside, everyone knew it was not peace. It was only survival. One alien elder said it best. We thought railguns were a joke. We thought teleporters were madness. But we were wrong. Humanity does not leap like others do. Humanity climbs in silence, one step at a time. And each step shakes the stars. In the years that followed, the galaxy changed. Borders shifted, empires collapsed. Trade routes bent toward Earth. The humans did not rule openly, but everything bent in their direction. Every decision, every law, every alliance was made with one question in mind. What will the humans think? The galaxy that once laughed now lived in the shadow of their silence. And yet, far away from alien eyes, humanity continued. New weapons, new machines, new experiments. What they had revealed was only the beginning. Railguns were the first voice. Teleporters were the second. The third was waiting. And when it arrived, the galaxy would understand a truth it had always tried to deny. Humanity was not just another species. Humanity was the storm that waited in the dark, the fire that burned quietly until the stars themselves trembled. So the story ended where it began, with laughter. But this time, it was not the galaxy that laughed. It was humanity. Soft, patient, silent laughter. Because they knew something the galaxy did not. The railguns were never the joke. The galaxy was, and the punchline had only just begun.